Yo, what's up? If you don't know me, I go by 20 Paz on the internet. I've been mixing for 4 years, and I also run a school community, Simple Mixes. Check it out, link down below. Today we're just going to be talking about 3 things every new mixer should be focusing on. And by new, I don't mean like the new, like just started, barely know what anything is. But by new mixer, I mean that's somebody that knows what everything does, but is just new to actually mixing other people's stuff or their stuff. The first thing that I think every new mixer should be focusing on is leveling. Why is it important? Leveling is essential to like everything. Like if your leveling's off, you've already fucked up, so you should be focusing on leveling. Now the way that I level is different from how most people, well, generally everybody that I know, and how they level. Literally everybody that I know, they level by using the mixer. Now me personally, I do not use the mixer. I use the channel rack in FL Studio. The reason why I do this is because there is no meters that I'm looking at, so everything is literally based off here. Well, there technically is a meter in the top left. It's not rewarding to look at, but what I mean by that is that it's out of your main sight. So if I want to look at it, it takes extra effort to look at it, because the digits that you're looking at, the meter that you're looking at, well, quote unquote meter, the numbers that you're looking at, they're very small, so it's not rewarding to look at it. So it's out the way, can't look at it, so you're basically just relying on your hearing. And one way that, or the way that I like to do it is I like to categorize it into the lead, the foreground, and the background. So lead and foreground are going to be more present. Lead is obviously going to be the one that is sticking out a little bit above the rest. The foreground is just going to be everything that's still present in your face, but is just not as sticking out like the lead. And background is literally self-explanatory, everything else that is kind of tucked away but still somewhat audible. Now the way that I check all this is that I will collapse the master or mix bus where everything's getting sent to. I will collapse that into mono and then just listen. Whatever is like sticking out or not in place in mono that didn't translate, I will then re-level it in mono, which you can just start out just leveling it in mono, but I would try to get used to just leveling it in stereo and then knowing what translates into mono, or just check it in mono. With the lead, I try to be very careful about that. I don't want it too present, too out in front of the rest. I want everything kind of a little bit together, but still enough separation where you can piece everything out. Now the next pillar is tonal balance. Now this is important because you want everything to sound good, right? Now how you do this is, well, I'll just tell you what I do, and this is just what I do, so this is not me telling you what you should do. I'm just telling you what I do and what works for me. So first, what I do is I use PORTEC to tone shape any sound that I am using. After that, I will use a normal parametric EQ to then get more surgical with EQ and adjust things that need a little bit more in-depth balance, or just up or down certain frequency ranges. It could be low, mids, highs, just anything that needs more specific attention. After that, if it needs it, I will then use compression or multiband compression if it needs it, and then adjust that from there. Now, how do you know if you're doing it right? Frequencies on a spectrum analyzer should look consistent. They shouldn't look out of place and just fluctuating a lot. They should just have a more consistent look. I know it's not good to mix by eye, but this will generally tell me if I'm on the right track or not. Another way that I'll know if I'm on the right track is when everything's all said and done and I'm basically done, I will use Isolate, and it's a plugin, and it will separate the whole entire sound spectrum into sections, and then I can mute ones and then I can solo others. And basically with that, if one soloed section sounds too loud or more in front of everything else, that's how I will generally know if I'm doing bad or doing good, and I will adjust from there. Now this third pillar is ear training. Now it's self-explanatory. It's just ear training, but specifically is just frequency ranges and knowing the difference between what sounds good and what sounds bad. How do you recognize when you need to adjust something? And this is just getting used to recognizing the frequency ranges and then just knowing what to adjust. Now, how to actually do it, there are plenty of videos on YouTube that have like A/B testing with sounds that are EQ'd and then sounds that are not EQ'd, and then knowing it'll pop up like a 4-choice answer, which frequency range was affected, how much dB was it affected. You can watch some of those videos. I know that there's a website, I think it's called EarGym or something like that. Don't quote me, but just look up ear training website. I'm sure you can find it. And with this, it has a whole bunch of like games that you can then go in and practice with that. But I'm pretty sure there's a paywall, so that's going to be more helpful if you have the money to spend and more direct with what needs to be trained. You'll know if you're doing this right by just listening back to your mix and it sounding better than it usually does. Now slowly over time you will recognize this more and more, or you will notice that you're staying the same. So this is just more of like a time thing. So like just more over time, as you get better and better, more experience, you will recognize what sounds good, what sounds bad, what you're looking for versus what you're not looking for, stuff like that. That's it for today. Peace.